better in his business. Thank you very much for all those wonderful responses. So, like I said, we are looking at vision. What is vision? Vision is a mental image of a desired future you see. A mental image of a desired future you see. Remember Mr. John? He looked into the future and gave himself 10 years plan in order to grow his business. So in that manner, he has something to drive him, and then he works very hard to achieve his goal. Now, in the Bible, Genesis chapter 13, verse 14 to 15, where Abraham separated from Lot, God asked him to stand where he was, and he asked him to look northward, southward, eastward, and westward. And he said, as far as your eyes can see, I am going to give the land to you and your inheritance, as your inheritance. At this time, Abraham had no child, but he caught that vision and ran with it. God showed him his future he needed to see before he could possess that future. So, if you don't have a vision, you will not be able to see beyond today. Each and every one of us needs a vision. Now you may ask, why do we need a marital vision? I have just established the fact that we all need visions, even as individuals. Now, as a couple, you need a marital vision because it brings couples to a place of agreement. When you have a vision, you are able to plan together, to work together. You are able to agree on where you are heading to. Remember, we said a vision is seeing into your future. You see where you are and where you are heading to. So there ought to be an agreement. So if you are going to make a family vision, that will help you to come to a place of agreement. It eliminates confusion. There's no confusion. You know where you are going to. You know where you are heading to. A vision is like a journey. You cannot set out to go somewhere you do not even know. In that way, you will not be able to reach your destination. So you must have where you are going to in mind, so that when you set out, you move towards that direction in order to reach where you are going to. So as a couple, if you have a family vision, it will eliminate confusion. Another thing the family vision does, it helps the home organize their resources and eliminates distractions. When you have a family vision, you are able to manage your resources together. And then you are not distracted because you have somewhere you are going to. And then that helps you to be very focused. Marital vision builds focus, clarity, and intentional living. Where there is no vision, love loses its way. A powerful marriage is more than two people that are in love. It's two people on a mission. A most successful couple don't just love each other, they see together. What do they see? They see where they are now and where they are going to, or where they would like to go to in the next 5 or 10 years. Now, this mental picture helps them. It is what gives life to their marriage and the energy that will enable them measure their various milestones. Love is not enough in any marriage. Love alone is not enough. You need a marital vision. Like I said, that is what will help you and take you to where you are going to. I'm going to share a story of two couples. The first couple had no marital vision. Mr. Felix, a teacher in the nursery school who has NCE, met this beautiful young lady and proposed to her. She fell in love with him too, and they got married. They were living together, and as they began to have children, life became very difficult. So Mr. Felix told his wife that he needs to go back to school and get a degree, that he believes that when he has a degree, their family will fare better. Of course, while he was teaching and receiving just 25,000 naira as salary, this woman had to hawk. She would carry the children with her while hawking, under rain and under sunshine. So when her husband said that, because of the love she had for him, she agreed and said, okay. So Mr. Felix went back to school, got his degree, but as soon as he graduated, he secretly married one of his classmates and kept her somewhere. When the wife discovered it and confronted him, he beat her up and walked out of the marriage. This is a clear picture of a couple who had no vision. Yes, Mr. Felix had his own vision, but the woman had no vision. And so she bought into his vision. And because they did not work together as a family, they did not agree on this vision, the marriage could not thrive. Another couple, the Johnsons, Mr. Johnson, a graduate, met this beautiful young lady and proposed to her. The lady had just finished from secondary school. And when they began to talk marriage, they decided that, can we talk together where we are heading to? Or haven't gotten married, they say, as a couple, where are we going to? So they sat down and they crafted a vision. They said, we don't want to remain where we are. And Mr. Johnson said, my wife, you will go back to school, get a degree. When you come back, I will support you. When you come back, I will go get a master's. When I come back, you will also go and get your master's. And so that was what happened. When both of them had their master's degree, they decided to develop themselves by attending professional courses. So at the end of the day, both of them were professionals. And as they began to have children, their children aligned to this vision. They didn't need to coerce or cajole any of their children to go to school. They bought into this vision. They saw daddy and mommy reading. When daddy is not in school, mommy is in school. They were also in school. So they all were working very hard to earn their degrees. At the end, at the end of 4 decades, this family have professionals who themselves are professionals, have children who are also professionals, who are also raising their own children to become professionals. You can see the ripple effect of having a marital vision. So if you do not have a marital vision, there will be confusion. And believe it or not, many of the irreconcilable differences we hear about is because of lack of a marital vision. I remember reading a story where the man said he had to counsel a couple who were trying to go their separate ways. And when they approached him for counseling and he started talking to them, he discovered that their only problem was the fact that they had no marital vision. So he had to help them graft a marital vision. And he said that same couple are still together 57 years down the line because they got a purpose. So that kept them going. They were not distracted. It eliminated fighting, and then the couple is still standing. So it is very important that if you do not have your marital vision tonight, I will be helping you and taking you on step by step on how to create one. All right, I would like you to also answer this question before we continue. Can you see my slide? Can you see my slide, please?
Yes, we can.
Can you see my slide?
Yes, we can.
All right. So I would also like you to respond to this. It says, imagine for a moment that both James and Jemima had noble intentions for their family. James envisions creating a prosperous family that builds and passes wealth through generations, while Jemima, on the other hand, aspired to nurture a godly family that radiates a sense of spiritual excellence wherever they go. Will they have a successful marriage? Please, if you are saying yes, can I know why? If you are saying no, can I also know why? Remember, they both have a vision. James' vision is to create a prosperous family that builds and passes wealth through the generations, while Jemima, on the other hand, aspires to nurture a godly family that radiates a sense of spiritual excellence wherever they go. So will they have a successful marriage? I cannot see any response in the chat box. Coach Iluchi, if you can see any, please, could you just read out? All right. Please, Honesty, can you please explain? You said yes, they will. Why? You can unmute and please answer.
Okay.
Honesty, can I hear you? You say yes, they will have a successful marriage. Why do you say they will have a successful marriage?
They will, because their vision is mutual. It can work hand in hand. They are not, their vision is not going, it's not going in different directions. They are both in tandem.
Really?
So
okay. Okay. Somebody also said, Oluwani Flex said, yes, they can, because the two is very important in a marriage. Somebody said, yes, with effective communication and strategic planning, they will have a successful marriage. Thank you so very much for all of these amazing responses. But I dare to say that this couple may not be able to continue, maybe after 20, 30 years down the line. Why? This is because they have two different visions. Although somebody said, except they sit together with strategic planning. These two couples need to discuss these various visions and then come to an agreement. Otherwise, all Mr. James will be doing is to try probably to build a family business. And so each time he pumps money into the business, Jemima will scream out, oh, you are wasting money. Oh, you are being worldly. Why? Because her desire or aspiration is to nurture a godly family that radiates a sense of spiritual excellence wherever they go. So probably for Jemima, all she would want is a family that goes to church, a family that talks about the word of God. She will feel that even trying to make money is being worldly. While Mr. James will feel frustrated. So this family will not be able to have a successful marriage unless they align their visions together. Though these two visions are noble, they are amazing, beautiful visions, but they are two different things. One is looking at the heavenly, the other one is looking at the earthly. So it's like two of them are going their different ways. I want to paint another scenario. For this couple, it's like a couple living in Lagos, Nigeria. Probably they live in Surulere. And then they decide that they want to, both of them want to go out, and they have two cars. The man picks his car and drives to Lekki, while the woman picks her car and drives to Redemption Camp. Will they be able to arrive at the same destination? Certainly no. These are two different areas. So they will be pulling themselves apart. There's no problem between them. It's just that their visions are not aligned. And that is why tonight we will be looking at how we can create a vision as a couple. We need to create a vision as a couple. I'll be taking you through 5 steps of vision creation framework. The first one is the identity. The identity. The identity simply talks about who are we as a family. Yes, before we continue, I want to quickly say this, that if we have couples in the house, before you begin to go through these steps, the first thing you need to do is to get a sheet of paper and then separately write your vision for the kind of family that you want. Write the kind of family that you want. When you write that, also ask yourself, where do I want us to be in the next 5 years or 10 years? What do I want people to know us for? What kind of children would I like to raise? That's the first step. You do this separately. Having done that, you come together to compare your notes. Look at the similarities, the ideas, the thoughts that align together. Having seen that, that is when you will now come to this step that we are talking about. So the first step here is the identity. Who are we? That's the first question 2 of you will need to ask yourselves. And if you have children that are grown, please make them part of this vision creation so that they can also run with it. In trying to agree on who you are, you also ask yourself, what is the best description for us? Your chosen identity shapes the structure, culture, and values within your family. Example, would you want to call yourselves a nation, a tribe, a dream, like a team, or a community? Now, if you decide that you want to call yourselves a team or see your family as a team, I'm sure you know what a team does. A football team have 11 players. All of them play for one purpose, to score goals and to win. So if you decide you are a team, let's agree together as husband and wife. And if you are drafting this family vision with your children, let them also agree that we are a team. Now, having known who you are, the next step is the identity qualifier. The identity qualifier. The identity qualifier gives clarity to purpose. Clarifying this aspect offers precise vision that enables measurement. All right, if you say you are a team, what is qualifying that team? Example of loving friends or of loving professionals. So you start with the identity, you qualify that identity. After that, you move to the third stage, which is the spin. Now, the spin is your USP, your unique selling proposition. What makes you unique or set apart? What makes your family different from every other family? By the way, when you come together as husband and wife, from what we learned yesterday, I believe you know that you don't want to replicate your parents' marriages. And that is why you need to identify your own marriage, qualify it, and then look for your unique quality, what sets you apart from all other families. An example will be who are free to be themselves. Maybe in your family, you have decided that all your children will be free to express themselves, to show forth their unique talents and gifts. You are not going to want to make them somebody else. You will allow them to be free. Freedom, probably that's the unique selling point in your family. Or it could be who are role models. You want your family to be role models. Or you want your family to be problem solvers. Now, as you pick the spin, it will also guide you. It will help you as you interact together as a family. A family that wants to be known for freedom, wants everyone in the family to be freedom. There is no unhealthy competition amongst the children. Now, if you want to be role models, you could decide that as a family, each and every one of us will respect the other person, respect people's opinion, respect their privacy. There will be respect in that family. So that will be your spin. From there, you now move to the fourth step, which is the primary target. Now, who are we impacting directly? Remember, whoever you are, it is not for yourself alone. You are supposed to impact others, impact that family next door. You are supposed to impact the family the families in church or in your neighborhood. Our impact must go beyond ourselves or beyond the family's boundaries. So our primary target could be raising other winning families or helping couples thrive and children flourish. This could be your primary target. And then we now move to the last stage, the last step. The last step, which is the ultimate effect, is what's our societal ripple effect as a family. You are not just impacting the other couples, but the entire society. What happens if your primary audience succeeds because of your influence? E.g., you want to transform the society or become a prototype of what is possible for humanity. These are the 5 steps that you need to take in order to create your family vision. Remember, I said this should not be done by only the husband, or the husband shouldn't be the one bringing all the inputs. It is going to be an agreement. You will sit together, discuss, everybody brings in his or her own contribution. And of course, your children who are grown should be part of forming this family vision. Having done that, you are supposed to come up with one family, the final family statement. We are going to pick all that we have said in the 5 steps. All that we have said in the 5 steps, we are going to have it in one statement. So the statement says, I told you, we went step by step. For each step, I explained how you are supposed to what you are supposed to arrive at. So the statement now is, we are a tribe of loving friends who are free to be themselves. Raising other winning families is our first target, and transforming the society. If you look at the statement, you will discover that those 5 steps are reflected. We are a tribe, that's your identity, of loving friends, then who are free to be themselves. Raising other winning families is our first target, and transforming the society. Now, when you come up with such a statement, The next thing that you are supposed to do is to have this statement written and displayed in a very conspicuous place in your living room so that you see it regularly, your children see it, and even visitors, when they come in, they should know that this family has a vision, and this is their vision statement. So you run with it. When there's going to be a disagreement, you look at your family vision again. And then you are able to resolve whatever differences that you have. Well, somebody may say, this family vision, our parent didn't have one, or many families that succeeded didn't have one. Of course, that's true, but then if you have a family vision, you will fare better. You will have a better marriage, and then you are able to leave a legacy for generations to come because your vision is written and you are running with it. That reminds me what the Bible says in Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 2b, that write the vision down on a plain slate for all to see, so that those who read it will run with it. If you have a family vision, you will run with it, your family will run with it, and that will help you to have a better family. So if you want to have a marriage of your dream, you will need a marital vision. Because of time, I just went through it briefly. If you still want to actually graft your own family vision, you can contact us and then we'll take you through. In conclusion, can you see this last slide? Can you all see the last slide? Hello?
Yes,
we can.
Yes, we can.
All right. Okay. The last slide, which is my concluding part, says, the marriage that blossom are those rooted in a shared vision. Every striving marriage possesses a mutually agreed upon vision, illuminating the path to a shared legacy. Tonight, I want to ask you to embrace the power of vision to guide your family's transformation and watch as it unfolds a narrative of lasting significance. You can see the picture that I have there, the man and the woman. You can see them working together, trying to draft their own family vision. So it is something that shouldn't be done by one person. It is something that two of you have to come together, agree, share your ideas, and then follow the step-by-step that I took you through to come up with your own family vision. Thank you.
Wow,
Thank you very much.
wow. Please, can we give Mama favorite emojis? Give her balls of fire, a clap of hands, love emojis. Please, clap with emojis. This is so fantastic. Amazing. You know, when I told you that research is coming together with experience, you can understand what I am talking about. Thank you so much. Thank you for that emojis. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Mama, we are so blessed to drink from your well of knowledge. And when I said that they are going to receive an uncommon knowledge, I wasn't mincing words, because this is actually something that many families are missing. You know, when you met that scenario, the first question you asked, it began to, I went on a journey and in the real sense of it, marriage is like a business venture, like you said. And for somebody to really go somewhere, you know, productive with business and everything, you have to make business plan. It's just like marriage. You don't just start on something as big as marriage without plan. And that plan is vision. Where exactly are you going? Where are you going with your wife? Where are you going with your children? In the next 5 years, where do you want to see yourself? Because the saying goes like this: he who failed to plan has already plan to fail, because without a plan, you just be going sheepishly. Everybody you do as you say, because nothing is guiding anybody, no vision, no constitution, no values, no nothing. And it becomes so terrible when children start to come start coming in. There'll be confusion, identity crisis. That's where you see children, they don't even know what to hold on to. Daddy is believing this, mommy is believing this. There is confusion everywhere, and people keep asking what is going on. Nothing is going on. The issue is that there is no guiding principle, no vision, no plan, no nothing. So I know that many of you have questions, but before we go on this question, you can agree with me that what we shared from yesterday till today, it's been an amazing journey. And probably many of you were preparing to hear something like, oh, respect your husband, communicate with your wife, the normal usual messages that at the end of the day, whatever that is happening, continue happening. Now, as we are rounding up this webinar, that does not mean that we are ending up everything. I always say that knowledge becomes power when it is implemented. If you hear, you do not do anything, trust me, you just be like that person that did not hear. Your knowledge becomes powerful when you implement it. So, to help you hold your hands to build the marriage of your dream, there is something we are going to do this evening. I didn't want to announce this yesterday because we don't want to overstretch ourselves. We just want to pick few people that we can work with. So that was why I didn't announce this yesterday. If you want to have your assessment done with a professional, with 3 of us, you want to assess everything about you, your love language, your personality, your belief, and even the dream, that a vision and everything, dream thing that Mama has just explained, and many other things. If you really want to build the marriage of your dream, whether you are married already or you are hoping to get married someday, we have something very, very priceless, but just for few people, because we cannot work with everybody. You can imagine that chat room is over 200 and something, so we can't work with everybody. That's the truth of the matter. So to get all these assessments and everything done, the fee is 250,000 naira. But for tonight, because we are giving back to the society, we want to ensure that there are people that are going to beat their chest and say, because I attended this seminar, my life changed. We are going to do this for a token, and it's just a commitment fee. We want you to be committed to what you are doing. And that's why we are charging a token for it. So we are going to charge 20,000 naira, but we are not going to work with more than 20 people, whether single, couple. Once it's 20, we are done. And this will only be on for 48 hours. After 48 hours, those that we are able to jump in, we are going to work with them. Remember, the original fee for this is 250,000. But because we want to give back to the society and we want to raise people from this webinar, those that can beat their chest in no distant time and say, because we attended this seminar, my life changed, you are going to get this service for just 20,000 naira. And we are going to paste the payment here. That was why I just made a post in the group and said, if you are not live today, you are about to miss something very, very priceless. It is priceless because you can never see this, what we're about to do with you, anywhere at 20,000 naira. So this will go for fastest fingers. Remember, we said we can't work more than 20 people because you can see the crowd. And once you make your payment, paste your receipt in that chat room, and you will be added to a separate WhatsApp group where we are going to work with you to create the marriage of your dream. So this is it for those, for those of us that are Christians, the wise virgins, they had extra oil. You know, some of us, yeah, we came yesterday. That was why we did not announce it, because we know that it's going to go for a few people. So if you are one of those few people, just click make your payment, drop the receipts in the chat room. This is just a commitment fee. So while we are doing that, if you have questions, which I believe you should have, because Mama's teaching is so deep with knowledge and wisdom. If you have your questions, please, you may unmute yourself to ask your questions or drop your questions in the comment section so that she will ask your questions. Thank you. If you also have questions for my section, session yesterday, this is also an opportunity because today is the last day of the webinar. If you have questions for me, for Mama, for those of us that are here, you can drop your questions in the chat box or unmute yourself to ask your questions. All right. I can see that this session was so understandable and there is no question. Yes, I can see emojis flying. Okay. So from here, in absence of question, we are going to call it a night. And we want to thank you. Okay, somebody say, good evening, Ma. Out of desperation and duress, and being the only surviving son out of 5 boys, my mom was pushed to get a wife for me, but I don't like her. Oh my God. Is this, Michael, please, is this a question or you just, what should I do? This question, I don't think is something anybody will tell you outrightly, do this or that, but I'm going to give Mama an opportunity to answer this question. Yeah, Mama, you have a question?
I was just looking at the question that his mom got a wife for him, but he does not like her. What should he do? Wow, this is a tough one. I want to say that you should have discussed it first and foremost with your mom. You need to have a talk with your mom. Talk with your mom and let her know why you don't like this lady. And I think from there, your mother may understand you. You will be able to convince her and she will let you off the hook. I think for now, that is just what I can say.
All right. Thank you so much, Mama. Thank you for that response. And Kevin said, apart from all the responses you will get here, you need a session to deal with these issues. And I totally agree with him. This question is not something anybody will tell you. Do this, do that. Oh, you see, Mama started by telling you to have a conversation with your mom, and that's a starting point. But in all, I believe that this is something you book a session because there is a root that needs to be addressed and all that. If anybody is telling you outrightly, oh, do this, do that, we need to have a session with you, ask you some questions, know the genesis before we can even suggest or proffer a solution. That's my candid advice and suggestion on this. Is there any other question, please? Any other question? Is there any other question? So, Michael, you may want to, and you may want to just, get in with that. The assessment we talk about, you may want to just get in with that assessment, and through that assessment a lot can happen. Okay, so get a slot for building the marriage of your dream that we just posted for 20,000 naira. Then you start from there. All right, so in absence of further question, we'll call it a night. Please, does any other person have any question? Do you have any other question? We still have like 7 minutes to go, so we still have time. If you have question, you may want to.
Hello, Coach.
Okay.
Hello, Coach Oluchi. Let me just say something very quickly.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this offer. I want to encourage everyone that is hearing, that is on the call tonight, please jump in on this. You really get these kind of opportunities. You really, really, really get these kind of opportunities. Whatever you're going to get will be so much more than the 20 that you're paying tonight. So I want to encourage you, please be among those 20 persons. What you're going to get, you will be happy you did. That's what I want to just advise you. So please jump in on it. I know that we're going to give you much more than whatever you've gotten on this webinar in these 2 days. You will be glad you did. God bless you. Thank you very much. See you in the coaching room. God bless. Bye.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Somebody asked a question, but I'm trying to understand the question. That's Logina C said, have you ladies seen results in other people's life after sharing these informations? How did you ladies learn these methods? Have you applied it in your own life? And if so, how have it been? All right, thank you so much, Logina. To start with, I want to say something explicitly. We are coaches that test things. We run things first and know how effective it is before we start, sharing it. Mama has been married for 41 years, right? If I'm not mistaken. 45 years. And by the grace of God, I've been married for 21 years. Our first child will be 20 years to this year. Mr. Kevin is married, and what we are doing is not
16 years by March, by April.
16 good years. So you can see it's not a trial and error thing. We are using a universally tested and trusted methodology. This one is not my grandmother handed it over to me. These are methodologies that have been tested universally, not only in Nigeria, in US. Our coaches, family in life coaches, we are everywhere in the world. We are in the US, we are in the UK, we are in Canada, we are in Nigeria, using the same methodology. And it's not something that just works for Africans, because it is a tested system, and systems are unemotional. So yes, we've tested them. All of us, we have family visions, we have family values. You saw when I was teaching yesterday, I started by saying that even in our academy of young children, of young people, preteens and teenagers, that we started this first quarter by teaching them how to create their personal value system, because we know that personal value system is a map, is a personal map that anybody can use to make choices, make wise choices and empowering decisions. So thank you so much for asking that question, for not just having it in your mind. Yes, this is a life that we are living, and this is something we have taught so many people. We are coaches. We've been doing this, and by the grace of God, that's why we also, is like evangelism. That's why we also bringing it to you. So I hope your question has been answered, Lord Gina. Thank you. All right. Okay. You said yes. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for that question. Is there any other question? We have 3 minutes to go. We have 3 minutes to go, and it's going to be a wrap. It's going to be a wrap after 3 minutes. If you still have questions, please ask your questions. As you have filled, thank you so much. Thank you, Coach Kevin. As you have filled your pre-test, you know, you filled a test before we started this webinar. You're also going to fill a post-webinar test. This post-webinar test will help you to know whether you learned something that can change your life. Yes, that test that that assessment that you did before the webinar, you are also going to have a post-webinar test. Immediately after this session, we are going to post it in the chat room so that you go through it and assess yourself again. This will help you. You will know whether there is a shift, whether you have learned something, and it will equip you powerfully. All right, Mama, we want to have a word from you for our audience. Somebody said, I really enjoyed this session. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right.
Yes, it was powerful, Mama.
My final word, I want to say once again, as we said yesterday, knowledge is power. And I think that this past 2 days, we have empowered all the participants. And our earnest desire is that they go out there and practice what we have taught them during these 2 days. Sincerely, if you take it seriously, you put it into action, I bet you will see the difference in your marriage. And for the singles in particular, remember when I started my session, I said you need your personal vision. You must have your vision so that by the time somebody who has a vision that aligns with you comes your way, you will be able to move in the same direction as husband and wife. If you do not have a vision and somebody comes to you, anything goes. Your marriage will not last. You will not go far. Remember Mr. Felix and his wife, she had no vision. And so her marriage hit the rock. So please, young people, have a vision. So much was said yesterday for the young people. So I want you to try to have your personal vision concerning your academics, your business, your career, whatsoever, so that by the time you get married, you will also come with you'll be able to craft a marital vision with your husband, and that will help you to have a better marital life. Thank you, everybody. God bless you all.
Thank you, Coach Maria. Coach Kevin, please, are you still in the building? Do you have a word for the audience before we call it a night?
Well,
is Coach Kevin still in the building?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Coach Oluchi. You've been amazing tonight. Mama, you did justice to the topic. Thank you very much. I want to encourage everyone who was in yesterday and also came in today, or even if today is your first time, we want to say thank you for creating the time to be a part of this. You've started a journey in your life, and I want you to keep at this. Don't just pack this as one of those things that you hear and you go ahead. These things are very critical. They are fundamental to your raising a great family and a great life. Pursue after this. Pursue after this. If you need personal coaching, talk to any of us, go into our DM, get the knowledge, get the information. It will pay off. I promise you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
In the chat room.
Thank you so much, Coach Kevin. And thank you, everybody who has spent these 2 days with us. And we look forward to hearing your amazing stories and, of course, how you are building the marriage of your dream. And we are going to see you in the chat room. So from me is good night. Thank you.